Hello everybody, welcome back to the Long Way YouTube channel. My name's Bucky, and today we're going to be making engine noises. Trying to get to where we don't hit the Alright everybody, I want to give you guys a little bit of a heads up on what's in this video. We're going to get the truck running because I need to get it running so I can get it out of the shop to get the bed on it. I need to get the bed on it so that I can get the cab finished up because it's too hard to try to pick that cab pieces up and off and back on. So this episode was filmed a little bit earlier, and what we're doing is we're getting the battery cables extended and built. We're working on getting the exhaust put together and put in, and we're also getting the air ride seats plumbed up. So I've got a lot of information here on how to do some TIG welding as well, but I just want to throw a little bit in here at the front to tell you guys kind of what to look out for. So one other thing I wanted to say hello to some of my new Russian friends that I made a couple of weeks ago. I know you guys have been watching the video, so this one's for you.
Привет, добро пожаловать на канал.
Alright, so welcome to the Russian friends, and you guys stick around to the end of the video, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Peace. So we're ready to start doing some mechanical work on the truck. We need to extend the battery cables to put the battery box over here in the toolbox on the side. And I went ahead and put a second mortgage on the house and bought some of this 2-aught battery cable, solid copper. Yeah, it was shocking how expensive it was. We're going to go ahead and take the old ones, which are here. They've got some standard wires on them with tags. We're going to go ahead and replace those. I've got brand new wire for them that's color coded. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what it's going to take to get these cables rebuilt, and then we'll get them back on the truck. As you guys can see, I got a very dirty workspace here, and I'm not that proud of it, but what we're doing is we're taking the red and the black wires that are taped to the original battery cables that run the 24-volt system under the cab, and we're putting the new ones on and putting the 10 tags that come with them that identify what they go to. We're getting those put on as well, and then we're going to stretch these out, clamp them into the vise, and just put tape all the way around them. We've got all the black wires wrapped. Now we're moving on to the red here next. Get those all wrapped up, and then before you know it, we've got both lines wrapped up and ready to go. I got them drug out, ran through the back of the motor mounts, all tied up, and then hooked to the starter into the ground. So we're ready now to jump into the battery box. I apologize in advance, it's a little bit noisy. We've got the fan going in the shop because it's really, really hot. But we're going to move on to getting the batteries hooked up and getting the truck started for the first time in about 6 months. Alright, so got my son over here helping. Christopher's up in the truck. We're going to get started getting these batteries together so we can get the truck started. So we'll get in here and get these ready to go. Get them soldered up. Alright, finally got the right tool for the job. Do you put the stinger on the back side or on the front side?
I've always wanted to ask. Seam. That's what I
seam. You put them out like that?
Yeah, and then I crimp them, and that way it pushes the ends of it into the wire. That's what I've always done. I haven't had any issues with it.
Seems good to me. So both my boys are professional mechanics, and so I always try to ask them questions when I don't understand the answers. I've never really asked before where you crimp these connectors on to make sure you get the best bite on them. So Chris was just making sure that I knew that you put the little knob in so that it's pushing down on the top and shoving the two pieces into the piece of wire to make sure that it's fastened correctly. Now we're going to move on to getting the batteries all connected and try the truck for the first time. So I won't bore you guys with that. All we did was cut them down and hook the wires up and strap them in to where we get 24 volts. Always ask the professional. Alrighty, I'm touching this. I don't see no smoke. Go ahead and bump it. See if this is right. Alright, yay! I was really excited to have the engine running for the first time in 6 months, but it was really, really loud. So I knew I had to get to exhaust. So what you're looking at here is a piece of the original exhaust that has the little flex clamp on it with a C-band or a V-band or whatever they call them. I'm going to grind that off and reuse this piece and stick it onto a piece of aluminized 4-inch and make my first 90 with my first extension. So that's what we're going to do now, start working on the exhaust. It's really important whenever you're welding to make sure that you get the ends clean, all trimmed back down to bare metal, and that you get your pieces lined up perfectly. As you see, I'm doing a good job of grinding here, getting everything cleaned up, and I've also got my other piece cleaned up and laid down, and now I've got a piece underneath it to help me line it up. That's the same piece of the old stop sign I've been using for several of these projects. So I'm going to get everything lined up, get it put together, tacked together with a MIG, and then we're going to work on getting the TIG fired up. All right, now I could weld this whole thing up with a MIG. Pretty good with it. I've already blown it out right there. It is exhaust pipe. I do have a multi-function machine, so why don't I just go ahead and show you guys how to do some TIGging so we can do this the way it's supposed to be done. Now we're probably going to be in for quite the adventure because I haven't TIGged in a long time. But let's fire the old TIG machine up and see what we got. You guys might remember when we were doing the floor, I ran out of consumables for the plasma cutter. So I think while we were on camera, I went ahead and ordered new consumables from, how do I say this politically? China.
China, 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 China,
China. So I have my Chinese consumables here. We're going to fill back up in our little device here. Like I said, you guys, if you're doing any kind of MIGging or TIGging or plasma cuttering and you deal with consumables, buy you one of these little cheap containers here, like I'm working with. One of these little cheap containers here. Funny thing, I got an 8-foot table, but I've got all 8 foot of it tied up with bull crap. Alright, so get you a little container here to hold all your consumables. That way, once you get done with all the one mores, you know exactly whenever you need to order one more. Alrighty. I do not know why we need a buttload of those, but we sure got a buttload of them. Alright, so I got all my plasma cutter consumables put up. I'll tell you what, if you guys do any welding at all, I highly recommend going and getting these. You can order them off the internet. They're Miller TIG and MIG calculator cheat sheets. So I've got one for the MIG and I've got one here for the TIG, and it doesn't necessarily have what I'm using, which is steel, but I do have stainless steel, which is basically the same thing, same thicknesses and stuff. So what you do is you go in here and set down your diameter. Ours is a 1/16 of an inch, and the type of weld we're going to use. And then it'll go up here and it'll tell you you need to use a 16th tungsten, 1/4 to 3/8 orifice, a thick 16th rod. It'll tell you DC current, 60 to 90 amps, and it'll tell you what your flow and your gas needs to be. So these are really, really handy if you don't do a lot of TIGging. So I just do it when I need to. So you guys are going to see me kind of struggle a little bit here, but without this, I'd be struggling with how hot does it need to be and all that. So I'm going to get this. This is a brand new piece of tungsten right here. So I'm going to get it ground and get it ready to go. It's a 16th tungsten. And we're going to get everything set up and get this exhaust tank together for you guys. So we'll be right back. All right, so I'll show you guys kind of how this goes together. I got my smaller, I don't even know what these things are called, but it's what holds the tungsten in. Feed it through here from the back. Actually, you screw it in from the front. There we go, like that. Screw it in from the front. Take your tungsten that I've already ground sharp, put it in from the back. Tighten up your little back piece. And then put your nozzle on. And stick out. We'll try to do, let's see here, not too much. About like that, stick out, and you go ahead and tighten your backside. That's got that done. All right, so make sure my flow is right, my voltage is right. So let me get back to my little stick here. Look at it again, stainless steel, 1/16 of an inch. I don't know if I ever showed you guys this. Let's see if I can get you guys a good look at this. So, stainless steel, if you guys can see that or not. 1/16 of an inch. So I've got my cup right, I've got my filler rod right, I've got my tungsten right. So I need 60 to 90 amps, and I need 11 cubic feet per hour. So I'm gonna run over here to the welder. I got 100 amps right now, so we're going to turn that down to 90, and I'll control the rest with the pedal. So DC amps, DC TIG 90, 16th tungsten. Now comes the fun part. Once you get all that done, then you get to try to figure out how to be comfortable, because you cannot TIG weld if you are not comfortable. So I got to go try to find my tall tractor chair. Those of you that have been following along, you know exactly where my chair was. I left it in the truck, and I was welding up the top. So I'm going to see if I can't remember how to do this. And then once I get a little bit of this under my belt where I'm not too embarrassed, I'll bring you guys back and see if we can figure out how to do this. But it is absolutely critical that you are comfortable before you start this. Because if you're trying to get your arm positioned like it needs to be comfortable, there's no way in the dickens that you're going to make this look like it's supposed to look. If you guys watch real close here, the first thing I'm going to do is stomp the pedal all the way to the floor and blow a hole in it. So not starting out on a very good track. So the key part of this is to keep your pedal down as far as you need to get down to make a puddle. Then once you get the puddle, you start adding your filler rod as you go. As you guys can see, I'm really jerky. I'm not really comfortable doing what I'm doing, and I've got a little bit of a gap. So those are the things I'm kind of fighting with, trying to get the power right, and then for some reason I can't get the arc to stay like I want it to stay, so it's all over the place. So that's kind of what I'm fighting with here. Alright, one, I got a breeze blowing through the shop. Two, I think I'm a little bit hot. And you turn it down. Three, I just dipped tungsten in the puddle, so that's how you get started again. So I'm a little bit frustrated here. I've got to get everything cleaned up and get kind of refocused on what I'm trying to do. I've got to run over and get the tungsten reground and set back down and try to figure out how I can salvage this fairly easy piece of TIGging that we need to do that's turned into quite the train wreck. So here we go. So if we can get the breeze to stop, and I can keep the tungsten out of the puddle, we might actually get somewhere. When you screw up, you pay big time. You got 5 minutes of dicking around. What do you think, Mamacita? What do you think? She got her earbuds in, she can't hear. That buzzing you keep hearing is because I can't get the settings just right. So I keep having that little bit of lightning strike and that little bit of buzz that you keep hearing is not having the ground right like it needs to be. So every time I hit the pedal, the ground's not going, and so it's not working right. What's up, Chicken Little? Okay, what I finally figure out here is that I've got the tungsten entirely too close to the workpiece. So once I realize that, I back up about 1/4 of an inch off and I start making it work like it's supposed to. I forget if you get that tungsten too close, you don't get a good arc and you can't get it to work right. Alright, so I about got everything right as far as speed and electricity goes. Sitting right at 85. Now I'm going to do something you don't ever do. I'm going to switch hands. It's going to be easier for me to do this left-handed as opposed to right-handed. I guess that's one of the joys of being any-handriest, as you call it. Alright, let's try it southpaw and see what we get. I think I might actually be better left-handed. Again, I say you have to be comfortable. And your piece can't be flopping around like that. Lord forbid, I might have to clean my table off. I ain't doing bad for remembering how to do it. So you guys can see here, I've done a pretty good job of getting comfortable and getting the temperatures right, and I'm really doing a good job of filling the things in. Hi! I'm just gonna tell her I love my TIG. I love my TIG! Alright, let's go back to straight-handed here. Alright, you guys may or might not have heard me get nailed just then by the TIG. Got grounded out because I got a bunch of crap on the table. So now you get to hear me throw a little bit of a hissy fit as I throw everything around and get the piece that I'm working on finally in a vise instead of having it in my lap. So you heard that little pop and me drop an expletive The reason I did because I just got shocked real good. Yep, that is looking pretty good. Other than it's ugly as hell. I did think ahead and leave that little bit of weld on there, and I'm sorry for Mama leaf blowing, but it is what it is. I left that little bit of weld on there to cover up where I'd cut out, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't have any leaks. I'm gonna knock this one high spot down. Alright, so we have successfully added on to this. When I get the muffler in, I'll put it together and see what it looks like. I'm going to tell you, I probably could have did that with the MIG welder, turning it way down and taking my time, but it was pretty fun doing it with the TIG. So, plus I got to show you guys something else. But these little cards right here, they're 15 bucks on eBay, and they're from Miller, and they will take all the guesswork out of how you set your machine up. I'll probably talk to you guys again whenever I'm doing a voiceover, because you guys can't hear a damn thing I'm saying. So, all right, I'm gonna put this up for the night. We're gonna go do some more work on the bed. So this will probably be on the getting it running video. So I'll see you guys on that one. Peace. Whoa, hold up. Back the bus up. I think there's a couple of things we might have forgot to show you guys in the end of this video. First of all, it's running, but did we get the exhaust fixed? Alright, so that's the exhaust. And the step/toolbox, check. How about the seats? Did the seats go okay?
Trying to get to where we don't hit this crossbar right here. But we're also outside of this panel right here.
Yeah.
Do that.
Alley-oop. Gotta love an air ride seat. Oh, everything, you got room now. Oh wait,
That's let me put enough air
a
pressure.
little more air. Need about another 250 pounds of air.
Yeah, right.
Air ride seats. Check. Alright, now that we got that cleared up, this would be a great time for you guys to subscribe to the channel, to share some comments, and to share it with your friends. And for those of you that are watching that are new to the channel that may speak another language, maybe like Russian, do svidaniya. Appreciate you guys watching. See you next time.